Bismillah wa salatu wa salam ala Rasulillah. Last time we started the tafsir of the first verse, and we said that the first verse is full of rulings, very rich of rulings, and we might take number of classes in order to finish just the first verse. We spoke about the first statement, Ya ayyuhan nabiyyu idha tallaqtumun nisa. We spoke why Allah Jalla wa Ala addressed the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Then we started to speak about some of the rulings of talaq, and we defined talaq, and we defined the ways a marriage can end. And then we started to speak about iddah, and we explained what iddah is, because Allah Jalla wa Ala says إِذَا طَلَّقْتُمُ النِّسَاءَ فَطَلِّقُوهُنَّ لِعِدَّتِهِنَّ. We stopped at the iddah. We haven't explained what iddah is properly. We will explain that here. Why do we need it to explain it? It is not just because it is mentioned, no, because the ayah says Ya ayyuhan nabiyyu idha tallaqtumun nisaa. If you divorce women, then divorce them li'iddatihinna. Li'iddatihinna. What does li'iddatihinna mean? Yeah, it means fi iddatihinna. La here means fi iddatihinna. In the qira'ah of Ibn Mas'ud, that the harf, sorry, not the qira'ah, the harf of Ibn Mas'ud, فطلقوهن من قبل عدتهن أو من قبل عدتهن, means in the beginning of their iddah. In the beginning of their iddah. First of all, what does it mean? In order to understand what it means in the beginning of their iddah, we need to understand how iddah works. If you remember, we said that the iddah is a period of time a divorcee or a widow waits before she can remarry or before she can marry. During this iddah period, she had to observe certain rulings, and those rulings differ from the divorcee to the widow. The divorcee has certain rulings, the widow has other rulings. And the length of the iddah as well varies. And we said that in the books of fiqh you find a chapter called Kitabul Idad, the chapter of idad, because there are different types of iddah. Okay, mainly we said that there is a divorcee and there is a widow. The widow, the iddah of the widow is how long? The iddah of the widow,
4 months.
which is the period a widow should wait before she can remarry. Yes. والذين يتوفون منكم ويذرون أزواجا وصية لأزواجهن يتربصن بأنفسهن what? 4 أشهر وعشرا. So the iddah of a widow is how long? 4 months and 10 days. 4 months and 10 days. The widow during her iddah is not allowed to remarry at all. And she had to stay in her husband's house, in the house or in the matrimonial house. She can go for short visits, but she cannot live outside that house. She should also avoid adornments such as applying perfume, kuhl, makeup, and so on. Wearing black clothes, or dark clothes, this is not of the sunnah. Avoiding having ghusl or showers, this is not of the sunnah. These are the three basic rulings. She cannot remarry. She should remain most of her time, or she should live in her husband's house. And the third one, she should not apply, or she should not apply zina, adornments including kuhul, putting perfume, and zina in general, adornments, makeup, and so on. These are the three main rulings. We will not get into the details of that, of course, because the dars is not about the iddah of a widow. Now the iddah of a divorcee. The iddah of a divorcee. A divorcee is a general term. We said that the marriage can end by one of three ways, or if you like, four ways: divorce, khul', fasakh, li'an. And we explained each of them before. Now, let us talk about the iddah of a divorcee. We'll not talk about the iddah of khula or fasakh, and we'll not talk about the iddah of li'an, because as I said, the dars is not about the iddad, it is about what? The ayah. And the ayah is talking about talaq. So we need to understand the iddah of the talaq. The iddah of a talaq, we said it is a period of time a woman should wait before she can marry or remarry, and she should observe certain rulings during that period. First of all, what are the rulings that she should observe, the divorcee should observe? Is she allowed to leave? First of all, she, as we said, she is not allowed to remarry. This is the main point. Let me stress on this point and explain it again. Because unfortunately, this point is not clear. Although those who understand Islam, read about Islam, they should understand this point clearly. A woman during her iddah is not allowed to remarry. If she was a divorcee and it happened that she got married, then her marriage is invalid. Yes? The woman, the divorcee, from the first divorce or the second divorce, she is a wife during the iddah period. What does that mean? It means that if she dies, her husband will inherit her. If her husband died, she will inherit him. This means that she cannot remarry any other person, nor she can receive proposals. It is haram, big haram, for her to receive proposals during this iddah period. If she is divorced if she is in her iddah period from the first divorce, the second divorce, and the third divorce, but it is more haram in the first divorce and the second divorce, because during that time she is the wife of her husband. Is it clear, ayyuhan nas, that she is the wife of her husband? Okay. We receive this common question, that I was divorced from my husband, and after 1 month a brother proposed, mashallah, he's good in deen, etc., etc., as they always say, and after 1 year he is the worst person in the world, no problem, and then I accepted the proposal, I got married to him. And we have so many cases. She got married to him, she had children from him. Later on she studied that during the iddah period she cannot remarry, and then she comes and asks, what is the ruling regarding that? Okay, so during the iddah period she is not allowed to remarry at all. Okay, I remember the worst scenario that I heard of in this particular issue. A brother And his excuse that he was a revert brother, although he been Muslim for some time, but that was his excuse. He asked me the following question. He said that he divorced his wife because they agreed that they cannot continue, it's not working. And then he said, because I have a child from her, I was looking for a good husband for her. Because the husband will look after my child, or she will be living with my child with him. So he was looking for a man to marry his ex-wife. He found a good brother, mashallah. Okay. Then he acted as the wali of his ex-wife. Not only that, but he agreed that the new husband or the new brother will marry her, and he got married to her after less than a month from the divorce. So I said to him, so she got married to him within a month? He said, yeah. But he said that was not the problem. I said, what else? Is there any other bigger problem than this? He said, no, I'm talking to you because my heart was broken and I don't know what to do. I said, what? He said, because she was living in my house, the brother who proposed to her came to my house and I was her wali, so we have done the nikah in my house. I said, interesting. We have a mithal, a saying in Arabic, عِش رَجَبًا تَرَى عَجَبًا. If you live until the month of Rajab, you will see so many amazing things. I said, okay. He said, after we conducted the marriage, this brother took her and said to her that you are my wife. This is in my house. So he took permission from me to go to another room to sleep with his new wife. And he slept with my ex-wife in my house. I said, very interesting, mashallah. We laugh, but we should cry for these incidents that we see in our community. All of this, my dear respected brothers and sisters, is because of what? Ignorance. We don't study our deen, and then we put ourselves into so many problems. I told you, I don't know whether I told you previously about that sister who her husband took her during the Iddah period, or she slept with the husband during the Iddah period, and she became pregnant, and then she got married to another man because her father refused or did not allow her to go back to her husband whom she slept with him. So many problems are happening because we don't have enough information about the basics of our deen. And that's why the scholar said, Talabul ilm might be wajib. Seeking knowledge might be wajib, obligatory, if that knowledge is needed to correct your actions. So if you are about to divorce or you want to get married, then learn the basics before you put yourself into big problems. Okay. So during the Iddah period, please, brothers and sisters, pass this information to whom you know. The woman, she is not allowed to remarry, and it is not allowed for her to what? To receive proposals. And brothers are not allowed to propose to a divorcee until her iddah is over. Is it clear? This is another common problem. Very frequent question. Sheikh, this sister was divorced and I want to propose to her. Yeah? How can I go for that procedure? I said, she's divorced. How long she's been divorced? I don't know. Or, she was divorced last month. Or, as one brother has done, and this is a case I dealt with recently, and his wife unfortunately she was not Muslim, and she accepted Islam. And her husband was giving her hard time. She was not Christian, but she was from the people of the book. Okay? She got married to a brother who gave her hard time, as she said. Then another brother, he knew about her, and he felt sorry for her, and he facilitated the divorce for her. And then when they went to an imam, a brave imam, who dissolved her marriage, okay, the brother proposed to her immediately on the spot. This is a big haram. If this wife, okay, if it is not a fasq, provided that this fasq is valid, I don't believe that it was a valid fasq anyway, okay, but if you propose to a divorced woman in her iddah, as if you are proposing to a married woman. Is it clear? Yes? Is it clear or not? As if you are proposing to any of your friends' wives. Can you do this? This is exactly the same. So, that's why we need to understand this ruling. It is a ruling that is misunderstood. I always speak about it. The divorcee is what? Is a wife. And that's why, as we said last time, that she does not have to consent for her husband to take her back. Her consent is not conditional for a valid ruju'. Her husband can say, I have taken you back. He either informs her or informs her wali, or do this in front of 2 shuhud, and that's it. Yes, because she already his wife. Clear? Okay. طيب. Allah Jalla wa Ala says, إِذَا طَلَّقْتُمُ النِّسَاءَ means if you want to divorce them, فَطَلِّقُوهُنَّ لِعِدَّتِهِنَّ means فِي عِدَّتِهِنَّ. Divorce them in the beginning of their iddah. What does that mean? Okay, divorcees, in order to understand this, what does it mean? We need to understand how iddah works in terms of length. The iddah, we said that it is a period of time. A woman, a divorcee, should wait. Now, in order to understand that in a very easy way, a woman can be pregnant, حامل or حائل. حائل, the Arabic word for non-pregnant woman. Clear? The non-pregnant woman can be either too young or too old. In other words, she doesn't see a menses. So the ha'il can be a woman who sees a menses or a woman who does not see her menses. Clear? Okay. Again, we'll not mention so many details, but the basics. Now, Allah Jalla wa Ala says, وَأُولَاتُ الْأَحْمَالِ أَجَلُهُنَّ أَن يَضَعْنَ حَمْلَهُنَّ. Pregnant woman, their iddah is what? To give birth to give birth. Okay? Whether she gave birth after 1 hour of the divorce or after 9 months. Is it clear? If she gave birth after 1 hour, the iddah is over. A person divorced his wife, and then in an hour time she gave birth. The iddah is what? Over. Done. Finished. Yeah, they mentioned one of the stories. A woman was pregnant and she knew that she will give birth. And then she told her husband that, listen, I had an oath and that I need to be divorced from you. I'm giving birth now, and please give me a divorce. Okay? Give me a divorce just for me to feel satisfied. And then take me back. So he said, okay, no problem. So he gave her a divorce. And then he went and he forgot to bring her back. She gave birth immediately. He came back. He found that there is a child. And she said to him, that was a hila, because I did not want you and I knew that I will give birth. So you divorced me and you did not take me back. Yeah? So it's done. Khalas. Yeah? طبعا the fuqaha mentioned this, some scholars mentioned this, whether that divorce is valid or invalid, because it was hila, etc. Yeah, it is likely that it is valid. Although she lied or whatever, but it is valid. Why did he divorce her? Okay, so the ulatul ahmal ajaluhunna, what is their iddah? The length of the pregnancy. If they give birth in an hour time, is done. After 9 months she should wait, and her iddah will be 9 months. If she had abortion, the child was aborted, then if the child is, or if the fetus can be distinguished as a child, then the iddah is over. Okay. These are the basics, as we said. We'll not get into more details. Now, the woman who is not hamil is ha'il. Yeah, the non-pregnant woman. We said she might see the period and she might not see the period. If she sees the period, if she does not see the period, what is her iddah? As Allah Jalla wa Ala says, وَاللَّائِي يَئِسْنَ مِنَ الْمَحِيضِ فَعِدَّتُهُنَّ ثَلَاثَةُ أَشْهُرٍ وَاللَّائِي لَمْ يَحِضْنَ. So those who do not see their period because of age, يَئِسْنَ means they will not see it completely, okay, forever, or it is unlikely to see it, then the iddah is what? 3 months. وَاللَّائِي لَمْ يَحِضْنَ, and those who are young, who have not seen the period yet, 3 months. Okay, now what is left? What is left now? The iddah of women who see their period. Yes, ha'il. Okay. The iddah is, Allah Jalla wa Ala says in the Quran, وَالْمُطَلَّقَاتُ يَتَرَبَّصْنَ بِأَنفُسِهِنَّ ثَلَاثَةَ قُرُوء. Divorcees wait the iddah period, which is what? 3 quru'. As you know, that quru' has 2 interpretations, either, or 2 meanings. Either it is the menses or the purity periods. Okay? Hanafis and Hanbalis, they believe that it is what? Al-Haydah. Shafi'is and Malikis believe that it is what? At-Tuhur. Yeah? In order to remember it easily, ha. Hanafis, Hanbalis, Haydah. طيب? Okay? And the rest, they believe that it is what? The Tuhur. What does Haydah mean? What does Tuhur mean? Okay. Before we explain this, we need to explain فَطَلِّقُوهُنَّ لِعِدَّتِهِنَّ. Li means في ابتداء عدتهن, in the beginning of their iddah. Okay? In the beginning of their iddah. The scholar said, in order to divorce a woman in the beginning of her iddah, which is called talaq as-sunnah, the sunnah way of talaq. She should be divorced in the purity period, provided that the man did not have full relation with his wife during that purity period. Is it clear? So if a person wants to divorce his wife according to the sunnah, he should wait until his wife is what? Sees her menses. Then once she had ghusl and now she's clean, okay, and instead of him going to his wife as men do when they are waiting for their wives to be free from the iddah, and instead of having intimacy with his wife, he will have a fight with his wife and he will divorce her. Okay? The sunnah is not to have fight with her, but just to wait. Okay, she is free from her iddah, she had ghusl, okay, no intimacy, but talaq. That is the sunnah talaq. Which means, as some scholars said, the sunnah talaq should have 7 conditions. We will not get into them because they might be confusing. Which means that don't divorce while she is while she is in her menses. Moreover, don't give talaq while she is what? In her period, if you had intimacy or full relation, sexual relation with her during that purity period. Is it clear? So if a person had a fight with his wife, look at the wisdom. Okay? Look at the wisdom. If a person had a fight or an argument or whatever, and he wanted to divorce his wife, he should follow the sunnah. So he should ask her, are you in your menses or not? Obviously a man will know this. Okay? But if he doesn't know, he should ask. If she is in her menses, he should not divorce her. He should wait until the menses is what? Is over. Okay? She takes ghusl, and then if he wants to divorce, then he will divorce. If you follow the sunnah way of divorce, the divorce rate will be reduced so much, because most of the divorces that take place are happening in the middle or immediately after an argument. Agree or not? Yeah? So if a person had an argument and he wanted to divorce, just hold on, wait. Okay? Tomorrow things will change. Agree? Yeah? Let alone if he wants to wait for 3, 4, 5 days. Moreover, if normally the man will wait for his wife to finish her iddah in order to have the halal with her, have sexual intimacy with her. If the man, look at this, if the husband insisted on divorce even during that time where he is eager to have intimacy with his wife, it means that he has taken a decision and he cannot even sleep with his wife, which means that he hated her. Then, yes, divorce. Okay? Because if you really divorce her knowing that you can have intimacy with her now, still you prefer to divorce her rather than having intimacy, it means that you have hated your wife, or you cannot bear her at all. Is it clear? This is the wisdom. And I wish if people follow the sunnah in divorce, okay, when divorcing their wives, and the rate of divorce will be what? Will be reduced. Okay? طيب. So فَطَلِّقُوهُنَّ لِعِدَّتِهِنَّ, divorce them in the beginning of their iddah. And we said that the iddah of a divorcee who is not hamil, who is not pregnant, and who sees her period, is either 3 periods or 3 tuhur or 3 hayd, 3 menses or 3 purities. Okay. So we said that the sunnah is to divorce her in the beginning of the iddah, which means when she is what? Pure. After the menses, provided that you did not have any intimacy, you did not have full intimacy with her. Okay. Now, the scholars said this means that the person who wants to follow the sunnah, he will divorce her in the beginning of the tuhur period. Is that clear? In the beginning of the purity period. Why? Because if he does this, the iddah period will be long. And Sharia wanted to prolong the iddah period in a moderate way, of course, in order to give both husband and wife an opportunity or opportunities to think again and to reconsider the talaq. Okay? طيب. What is the iddah for a divorcee? If we say that it is what? 3 cycles. Okay? If it is 3 cycles. Okay? Catch your hand like this. This is the sign of what? رابعة. يعني victory. طيب, for رابعة إن شاء الله. طيب. Okay? The victory for people in Egypt and victory for people in Muslims inshallah. Okay, hold your fingers like this. Okay, now in order to calculate it, each finger is the menses, and between the fingers is what? Purity. Okay, purity. So if he divorces her, we said that he should divorce her in the beginning of what? Of the purity. After a menses. So after a menses, here. Okay? So he is divorcing her here. So he will have a purity. Okay? And a period. A purity. Yes? And a period. And purity. Is it clear? Yeah? If we say that the iddah is 3 cycles, because we said the Hanafis and the Hanbalis believe that the iddah is the cycle, is the what? The menses. So if he divorces her here, so the first cycle ends here. By the end of the first cycle. Clear? By the end of the first cycle. Not when she sees the cycle, no. By the end of the first cycle. Then a purity, then what? The second cycle. Then a purity, and then the third cycle. When she finishes the third cycle, the iddah is what? Is finished. Yeah? This is the iddah if it is what? 3 cycles, 3 menses. Now if the iddah is 3 purities, if the iddah is 3 purities, okay? So he divorces her here. He divorces her here. So this is a purity. So this is what? The first purity. Then she sees the cycle, the first cycle. Then this is the second purity. then she sees another cycle, and this is what? The third purity. When she begins this cycle, the iddah is what? Over. Why? Because she has seen 1, 2, 3. Is it clear? طيب. Many people don't understand this. Okay, and they might read it, but they don't understand it. Is it clear? So which one is longer? Which one is longer? The Hanafi Hanbali. Which is what? 3 cycles. Okay? If it happened, so in both opinions, the cycle is longer. We said, if he divorced her here, and we consider the cycle or the iddah by menses, we said what? 1, 2, and 3. Agree? If the iddah is measured by, or the length of the iddah is measured by the purity period, we said 1, 2, 3 in the beginning of the cycle. Clear? Yes? Okay. Now, if a person did not follow the sunnah and he divorced his wife during the period. This is the second case. He did not follow the sunnah and divorced his wife during the what? The period. So this period will not be what? Will not be counted. Yeah? Will not be counted. And 1, 2, 3. If we say that he divorced his wife in the period and we calculate the iddah according to the purity period, then again he divorced her here. This is one purity, this is another purity, this is the third purity. The iddah will be over here. Clear? Okay. This is what it means. إذا طلقتم النساء فطلقوهن لعدتهن. There are many other ahkam. If a woman does not see the period because of illness, or she took certain medicine to prolong her period, etc., etc., we will not get into that. Okay. إذا طلقتم النساء فطلقوهن لعدتهن وأحصوا العدة. وأحصوا العدة. And calculate the iddah accurately. Because you want to be just. Not for you, not against you. Here Allah Jalla wa Ala is addressing what? وَأَحْصُوا الْعِدَّةِ. Allah Jalla wa Ala is addressing who? The husbands or the wives? Two opinions, but it is likely that Allah Jalla wa Ala is addressing who? The husbands. They have to calculate the length of the iddah accurately. Why? Because if they made a mistake and the iddah became shorter, it is not in their favor. Because they want some time to think. If they miscalculated and the iddah became longer, then it is not fair on their wives who want to leave the matrimonial house and maybe get married to another person. Okay? Is it clear? Okay. We said that if the husband divorces his wife the first divorce, she should wait for the iddah period. If he took her back within the iddah period, they can resume their life. Okay? So this is the first talaq and is called revocable talaq. Then after some time they live together again had problems, he divorced her the second time, again she should wait for what? The iddah. Yes, if he took her back, alhamdulillah. If he does not take her back, she should wait for the iddah. And if they want to go back to each other, then he has to propose to her a new proposal. And if she accepts, and her wali accepts, then he should marry her a new marriage. New nikah, mahar, wedding, shuhud, witnesses, etc. If he took her back, alhamdulillah, as we said, they lived together, he divorced her the third time, then that's it. He cannot take her back. They cannot remarry even after the end of the iddah, unless what? She marries someone else. Yeah? And that person divorces her, and then she can get married to this person. We will talk about that later. So here, most likely, as we will see, that إِذَا طَلَّقْتُمُ النِّسَاءَ فَطَلِّقُوهُنَّ لِعِدَّتِهِنَّ, and calculate the iddah, is talking about the first divorce, which is irrevocable, the second divorce, which is irrevocable, and is not talking about the third divorce, as we will see. Okay? وَأَحْصُ الْعِدَّةِ, calculate the iddah accurately. So it will not work against you, it will not work for you. Allah Jalla wa Ala is the one who decided the iddah. Yes, and you should, adhere to the commandments of Allah Jalla wa Ala. Okay? Allah Jalla wa Ala says, وَاتَّقُوا اللَّهَ رَبَّكُمْ. Okay, before that, I remember reading maybe 10 years ago that some scientists found that any woman who leaves her partner means male partner, we have to be specific. If a female leaves her male partner, she should wait for some time before having sexual relation with another partner. Otherwise, she will develop some illnesses and maybe some psychological illnesses as well. Subhanallah. Yeah? She will develop some illnesses. If she replaces partners that quickly, it is not good for her health. She should wait for some time. I'm looking for that report. If you find it, that will be good. Bring it, please. Okay, what is the purpose of the iddah? What is the purpose of the iddah? Okay, first of all, what is the reason for the iddah? Not the purpose. The illah for the iddah is the commandment of Allah Jalla wa Ala. Okay? Is the commandment of Allah Jalla wa Ala. What is the purpose? The wisdom behind it? What is the wisdom? The scholar said different possible wisdom. Different possible wisdom. Okay? Before discussing that, I will ask you a question in order to make the discussion fruitful, and in order to understand why I'm stressing on this. If a woman been abandoned by her husband for 20 years, he got married to her and he left to jihad in Syria, as many brothers do. طيب? And when he left to jihad in Syria, which, as I told you, I don't encourage brothers to do it, but young brothers, don't listen as usual. صح? They don't listen. They say that this sheikh is against jihad. طيب? So they go. Now we have brothers and sisters who don't listen. There are sisters who go for jihad by themselves. You know about this. As I mentioned this, today I received a question regarding a sister who went, a revert, Miskina. She want to go to any Muslim country. She came to know a mujahid online. طبعا the mujahid had some time to go to okay, but anyway, maybe the mujahid was doing jihad over internet or he was looking for some websites that help him in jihad, and by accident Miskin he went to a matrimonial website. Okay, so anyway, she came to know him and they agreed to get married. Okay, so she traveled all the way to Turkey by herself, and she met him in Turkey, and they got married there. She came here, had no certificate, nothing. She contacted us in the Islamic Sharia Council to produce her a certificate that she got married to this brother, so she can join him again. I said, most likely this is a scam. To the sister that she contacted me to help the sister, I said, most likely this is a deceit. Okay, this man who is a mujahid, he is responsible to find a way to get the marriage certificate. Agree? Not she. Okay, and if she got married to him, she should go back there. She should live with him there. Why she came back here? Yes? Anyway, so sisters, please, they should be careful. As I mentioned this, I was going to write an article about sisters going for jihad. I consulted some brothers, and they said maybe it is not a big issue. So I changed my mind. The reason I wanted to write this article is the fact that I heard some weird stories about sisters going for jihad in Syria. In Norway last year, 2 sisters, one I think 16 or 17, and the other one 19. They just left their parents and they went for jihad. I said, this is interesting, mashallah, tabarakallah. Okay, I want to warn the sisters and the brothers. When they go for jihad, they become really very, very vulnerable. And they might meet some mujahid who are fake mujahid, or who are liars. Or they might meet mujahids, and the mujahids there, my dear respected brothers and sisters, are not all practicing people. Many of them are jahil. They just join jihad because they want to die fi sabilillah. They don't know. Some brothers who went for jihad, and they said those who were doing jihad with us, they were not praying the 5 times the daily prayers, but they joined jihad. Okay, and some of them they are just fighting the regime. They are not really doing it fi sabilillah. And the sisters, because they are naive, they think that okay, let us just go. And they came to know this brother who had a beard, mashallah, and who say Quran and Sunnah. They think that he is one of the companions, one of the Sahaba. They get married to him. Okay? When I was thinking about writing this article for a long time. A few days ago, I received an email from one of the mashayikh in Saudi Arabia who collected the tweets of one of the old mujahideen who joined the jihad in Afghanistan in the early 80s, and that person, who is a well-known mujahid, he's living now in Saudi Arabia, he wrote in the Twitter, okay, he said that I'm writing this to warn the sisters from going to jihad to Syria by themselves. He said, when we were in Afghanistan doing jihad, many of the women of the Mujahideen, when Al-Hilf al-Shamali, Mas'ud Shah and others took over, he said many of the women of the Mujahideen were raped and took as slaves by the warlords in Afghanistan. And he said he remembered a story that he will never forget in his life. He said, when we were in Kandahar and the Americans were bombarding us, okay, throwing bombs, etc., and then we were attacked by some of the allies against the Mujahideen. He said there was a Mujahid with his family, big family, with children, and everyone left, and this person, he left, of course, to run from here and there. A group of people came to those women and they captured them. They hijacked them. And they distributed them in front of our eyes to the warlords. And the warlords took them in their cars and left. It was a war, we could not do anything. The brother, the husband, came back and he was asking, where is my family, where is my family? All of us knew that their family, his daughters and his wife were kidnapped by those people and were given as slaves to the warlords. No one could tell him the reality because we could not see. He was looking at them between the killed people. He did not find them, and he said, were they hijacked, were they hijacked, were they kidnapped, were they kidnapped? No one could tell him the reality. He mentioned so many stories, sad stories really. He said after some time in Kandahar, when the Americans and their allies were bombarding us and it was chaos, there were a group of Mujahideen, Arab Mujahideen, who were killed, and their wives and children remained there. He said, I contacted Hikmat Yar and I told him that, listen, those Arabs came to defend you and now their wives and daughters will be taken and raped in front of your eyes. Shames on you, Afghani people, to allow those women, the women of the Mujahideen, to be raped in front of you. And you know what happened to so and so. And he said, I contacted, and at that time Kandahar was under the leadership of Mullah Umar. So he said, Mullah Umar, when he knew this before Hikmat Yar, he said, by Allah, I will not let in my body a single drop of blood until I secure those women to leave Kandahar, even if all the Mujahideen were killed. So he said he stopped all the Mujahideen from leaving Kandahar, and then Hikmat Yar and some other people came to help the people in Kandahar, and then they managed to find a secure path for those women, the Arab women, to leave Kandahar, and many people were killed. That's why many scholars in the past said that it is makruh to take women for jihad. Yeah? If you know that they will, something like this might happen to them, it is very disliked to take women to jihad, and it might be haram. Okay? Do we want this to happen to our sisters just because they want to go for jihad out of just zeal and hype? So I would like to send this message to our sisters. Okay, I strongly advise you not to go for jihad, and I will meet Allah Jalla wa Ala, and I will tell Allah Jalla wa Ala that I told them not to go to jihad in Syria. I will be responsible for that. But to go there and to become a burden, and then you become raped, etc., etc., and then we'll try to find a solution for you to come back, and you know what may happen. Many brothers who have went to jihad, they have been kidnapped. You know this. You know this or not? They are kidnapped by the Syrians. And as had happened during the Afghani time, there were just murtazaqa. What is murtazaqa? Those who just kidnap people and they go and sell them to the Americans. There are people who kidnap some of the mujahideen who come to Syria for jihad. They kidnap them and they sell them to the Syrian government. And you know this, the story of that mother, her husband was kidnapped. No one knew about him. And then she traveled by herself with her daughter. She met the authorities there. And of course, they ripped her off. She paid a lot of money in order just to see her son. And she found that her son was kidnapped, okay, and he was imprisoned by this zalim regime. They said that when she saw her son, she didn't know him because he was tortured, prevented from food, etc., etc. He lost more than half of his weight. So do we want this to happen to our sisters? Of course not. Yeah? And Allah Jalla wa Ala did not make it obligatory on you. I said to one sister who asked for whether it is obligatory, I said to her, as I said to all brothers who ask about this, I said to them, is this the only obligation, fardul ayn, that you have? You have many fardul ayn. Everyone has so many fardul ayn. So why are you looking for this fardul ayn only? Yeah? No one. Why? We need to understand. You have fardu ayn to obey your parents. You have other types of fardu ayn. Okay? And moreover, who is giving you fatwa that you have to go for jihad to Syria? Those who are giving this are known people in Syria, not all scholars in Syria. I confirmed this long time ago, and I have been confirming this all the time. Whenever I see a Syrian scholar or I know of a Syrian scholar, etc., I double check with him. Have you declared that it is wajib for every single one in the world to come to join jihad? And they say no. It is just only very few people who go there, and the mujahideen there, they tell them that no, it is wajib, call the brothers to come and let them come, etc., etc. And I believe that many of those calls are coming from people who have been infiltrated. Yes, infiltrated. So young people should be careful and should not be naive. Yeah? They should not be naive. There are hundreds of ways we can help our brothers and sisters in Syria or anywhere in the world. Okay? But not through this. Anyway, so, but in particular I was saying about this marriage. Marriage over Skype with the mujahideen or with the mujahidat. طيب? Because I told you about that story of a sister who said that she's a mujahid and she was looking for a brother to get married to her. Have I told you last time about it? Yeah, there was a sister, I think on Facebook or what, she announced that she is in the land of Ribat, in the land of Sham, in the land of victory, in the land of so and so. Yeah, typical religious blackmailing, and she was calling for brothers to get married to her. Yeah, and 2-3 brothers went, and it was a scam, and they were arrested or maybe kidnapped. Okay, so we have to be very careful. Young brothers have to be very, very careful. Otherwise they will put themselves into so many problems, and they will put us into so many problems. Okay, for no faida at all. Okay, so I was saying that the divorce,
the husband leaves her for more than 20 years.
Yeah, if the husband leaves her for more than 20 years without divorce, can she remarry another person? Yeah? And the answer is no. Unless she is officially divorced, or she goes to a well-known, reputable court. If there is no Islamic court, well-reputable court or Muslim tribunal or Sharia council to dissolve her marriage. Yes? Okay. Imagine her marriage was dissolved by an Islamic court. The marriage was dissolved on Saturday. Yeah? Saturday, 5th of Safar, the month of Safar. Because we calculate things according to what? The Hijrah calendar, not according to the Gregorian calendar. How long she can stay before remarrying? Shall we say that she has been away from her husband for 20 years, so she doesn't need to wait for a iddah? Is the question clear? Shall we say that she doesn't need to wait for a iddah because she has been already left abandoned by the husband for 20 years? Shall we say this? And the answer is no. The answer is what? No. She should wait the iddah, the proper iddah period, after the divorce, not after separation from the husband. Once she is legally divorced by her husband, or legally her marriage was dissolved, yes, or she received khul' or li'an, even if she has left her husband or she has been away from her husband for 100 years, still she has to what? Wait for the iddah period. Okay, so what is the point behind the iddah? What is the illah? If we say that she should wait in order to make sure that she's not pregnant, yeah, definitely this lady who has been away from her husband for 20 years, she's not pregnant. Yes? So why she needs to wait the iddah? For the iddah? Because Allah Jalla wa Ala said so. Clear? Okay. If we have pregnancy test. She was divorced. She went to the doctor. She had the best and the most accurate tests, and it was confirmed that she is not pregnant. Yeah? Should she wait for the iddah or not?
Yes.
Khalas, it is clear now. She should wait for the iddah period. Okay. If her husband said to her that listen darling, yeah, I divorced you and you've been away for 20 years from me, haram. Okay? I divorced you. I forgo my iddah right. Can he drop the iddah?
No.
He can't. Because the iddah is the right of who? Of Allah. No one can drop it. Clear? Is it clear? Okay. Yes. Allahumma salli wa sallim ala Rasulillah. If she got married during the iddah period, then what do we say? If it is after the first divorce or the second divorce, then we say to her that as if you are married when you were married. Will the second so-called marriage be valid? It will not be valid. So if she got married during the iddah period, then that marriage is invalid. Okay. Then inshallah next time we will speak about واتقوا الله ربكم لا تخرجوهن من بيوتهن ولا يخرجن إلا أن يأتين بفاحشة مبينة. Inshallah this is enough. This will be enough inshallah for today. Jazakumullahu khaira. Barakallahu feekum. Any question or it's too late now? Okay. Many questions, as we always say, that when we have these topics. Yes, tafaddal.
If the divorce is based on a lie.
If the
divorce is based on a lie, so she said that she slept with someone, and then he said, "Fine, I divorce you," but she wasn't telling the truth.
Yeah. If the divorce is based on a lie, okay, the scenario is a woman says to her husband, okay, that she slept with another person in order to tease him, and then he divorced her. Yeah, it's valid. It's valid, of course. Yes, Muhammad. Yes.
Yes, you mentioned before. You said the incident when you do at the beginning of the period, the purity period.
Yeah.
And then when one does it in the during the Haid. What if one does it at the end of the period or in the middle?
Yeah, the scholar said that if we calculate the period by the purity, and he divorced her, okay, and there was 1 minute in her purity period left, that is counted as one purity period. Yeah. Yes, Sheikh.
We have a situation of a sister whose husband has left her behind.
He left her behind.
Yeah, he's gone.
He's gone for jihad.
No, he's gone away.
طيب.
The home country. He then comes back and stays in the house, but does not approach her at all. There is no relationship at all.
Yeah.
And this has been going on for maybe 10, 15 years now.
Yeah.
What's the situation regarding?
They are married.
They're married.
They are married. Yeah. They are living as friends in the house. Yeah. If they accept it if both accept to live like this, yeah, that's fine. Okay, yes, sir.
If the woman was pregnant and then the husband is talaq, but then she aborted the baby, and
Deliberately.
Yeah, and at the time of abortion, you couldn't identify as a child. Then how long is her iddah? Because you said if it is distinguished as a child, as soon as she aborts it, her iddah is finished.
Yeah.
If it's not as a child, then what is it?
Yeah. Abortion, if the aborted child is not distinguished as a child, so does that end the iddah or not? It's a long discussion between the scholars.
Exactly.
Yeah. Different opinions, so each case has to be judged according to its own merit. Yes, ya akhi.
Assalamualaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. Tafaddal.
Is it possible for somebody to do abortion before the 40 days or the 42 days?
Is it allowed for a person to have, a person means a female, yeah. Otherwise, because later on maybe men will become pregnant, okay, but a female, pregnant female to have abortion before 4 months, again, before 40 days. I don't like to answer questions related to abortion in public. Yeah, if there is a specific case, we will deal with it, inshallah. Yes.
Can a husband put a condition to the wali family that she should not be married to so and so after the divorce if he suspects any issues going on?
What is it?
Can a husband put a condition that after the divorce the wife should not be married to so and so as he suspects something is going on between the divorce itself?
If a husband is proposing to...
Can she put some restrictions on her next husband?
Yeah, just let me...
Sorry.
He put a ghutra, he thought that he's a Saudi scholar now.
He's going for jihad.
If a person proposing to a sister, proposing for a sister, then he's putting a condition on her wali. Yeah.
The husband himself. Let's say the condition that
Who is putting the condition?
the husband himself.
Ex-husband.
Putting
Ex-husband.
the husband is putting a condition on the wali or what?
On the wife.
On the wife?
To be divorced.
ما فهم.
Sure. Before he gets married, he's saying he has a suspicion that in future she might divorce and marry Mr. X. So he says, can you put a condition that she must not marry him if she divorces me?
Is this the question?
No.
Okay, let me put it right.
So this is not the question?
Almost similar thing, but it's different.
لا, don't ask two questions, one. No, he provoked another question. No, one. The original question, what was it?
The original question is, the wife wants a divorce.
The wife wants a divorce.
Yeah? But then she pushes to get the divorce, and the husband has to give the divorce now.
He said to her, okay, I can't divorce you. I will divorce you provided that you don't get married to that person.
Yeah, so and so, yeah. As long as he suspects there's something going on.
MashaAllah, tabarakallah.
Something can do.
Yeah, she will say to him, okay, no problem. I promise you that I will not marry him. Then he will divorce her. Once the iddah is over, she will go and marry the other person. What can he do? Forget about valid or invalid. What can he do if she does like this? He will... يا أبو أصابع الندم. I wish if I did not divorce you. Huh? Okay, another question. Yes.
Sheikh, you mentioned that after the first there's the Iddah period.
Yeah.
So if during that Iddah period the husband can take back the wife, but then if the wife then gets another dissolution, can
what is it?
If the wife,
after the fasakh,
yes,
during the iddah period,
the husband wants to take back the wife,
he can't.
Okay.
After fasakh, this is the main difference between fasakh and talaq. If the marriage was dissolved by a court, by a Muslim court, then the husband cannot take her back.
So then in that case, for example we had earlier about the husband has abandoned the wife for many years.
Yeah.
It's probably best for the wife to get the proper fasakh.
Yeah, even if she gets a fasakh, she should wait for the iddah. Yeah. But she cannot remarry during that. Yeah. Yes. No questions from the sisters? Anyway, I'm giving them chance, so if they complain later, because there is one lady, she is proposing that universities should not be bullied by those extremists and fanatics who force women to sit separately from men. Yeah, which means that during Islamic events, she is proposing this and she is collecting signatures. Right? So later on, if she is successful in doing this, then she will ask for masajid to be together. So we pray next to sisters. Yeah. Who knows? Right? If we allow something to happen, then other things will happen. Yes.
Is it forbidden to pronounce the talaq during the menses? Does one have to wait, or is it just against the sunnah?
It is the sunnah. It is the sunnah. Next time we'll speak about it, whether it is valid or invalid. The validity of it. We'll talk about it.
Some people, especially in Pakistan, they say if I don't do this, or if I come back, say for example, I come back to this house, my wife is divorced. Talaq.
Yeah.
Is that a valid talaq if he comes back to the house?
Yeah. The question is, this is a common problem where the husband put a condition on his wife, or he's becoming angry, or he wants to stop his wife from doing something. So he says to her, if you do this, then you are divorced. If you don't do this, then you are divorced. Yeah, and something like this. See, questions related to divorce are quite sensitive. And that's why I advise all the imams, طلاب العلم, etc. not to answer questions related to talaq in public. And I don't answer them in public. I answer to explain the mas'ala rather than fatwas regarding these things. It's very harmful to give fatwas about these things in public. Yes?
What if you say as a joke to your wife? You say you're divorced as a joke.
Are you married?
No.
Khalas, when you get married, we advise you to joke with your wife. Yeah, but not with divorce.
Yeah. What is it if you do it?
Well, if it happens, let me know. We'll discuss it, inshallah. But I advise you not to do it. Yani what, you want to express your wife and say, oh love, really, I love you, I was thinking about you for the whole night yesterday. Darling, you are divorced, darling. Yes. طيب, last question. Yes, ya Sheikh.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.
A question from one of the sisters about if a woman is in her iddah, does she still fulfill her wife duties? Does the husband still have rights over her?
Okay, this is a very important question. A very important question. And because it is so important, inshallah, we'll answer it next week, inshallah. Yeah. Jazakallah khair. In order to encourage the sister to come next time. Jazakallah khair. Assalamu alaikum.